been 3 days. This is our 4th morning. We're getting low. I don't know how much longer we're gonna last. This is about all we got. We got some peanut butter, some sauerkraut I made a couple weeks ago. We have some apples. That's what we're living on.
It didn't help. We're not sure how much longer we're gonna last, but this morning I think we're gonna try and cobble together some apple cinnamon pancakes. That'll be really lovely, yeah.
You guys asked for a video where you see how long we can go without getting groceries. And we thought that this was a perfect time to do it because we just got back from our safari in Kenya. And for the first 3 days, we've been living off of some frozen meals that I had made in advance, some soup that our friend Maya had put in our fridge, frozen fruit for our oatmeal in the morning. But today we're pretty empty of all of that. So now the real test begins. And you saw those apples that we have in the fridge. So I was going to make pancakes this morning and make our chia chip pancakes. But then I thought I'd use those apples because I'm pretty sure that I have a apple cinnamon pancake recipe sort of in progress. And you love pancakes.
I love pancakes, and nothing better than improv pancakes because you can't make anything else. So this is gonna be good.
Yeah, this will be sort of pared down, tasty, thrifty, timely. No kind of fancy photos, no fancy dishes, just kind of our like everyday
Survival.
meals.
Just like we're back in the safari.
raw.
Just what can we live on?
Some pancakes with cinnamon apples on top.
So I already lied. I thought that I had an apple cinnamon pancake in the works, but apparently I don't because I can't find it anywhere. So I'm using my chia chip pancake recipe as a base, but I'm making these all whole wheat, swapping out the chia seeds for some flaxseed, putting some cinnamon in, and I'm opening up my last almond milk. This is all the plant-based milk that we have, so I guess I'll be making some plant-based milk later today.
Look at this. Epic pancakes. Amazing.
We'll see how they taste. I'll show you how this little sauce turned out. So I wanted something with a little bit of protein on these pancakes. So I did a 1/4 cup of dates and a 1/4 cup of tahini with some water and salt. And it didn't really make a caramel, but I made a tasty sauce, and it's not the smoothest because I use my hand blender because I'm still feeling a little lazy. But if I did it in a food processor, it'd probably be better. So let's see how it tastes.
I love them. This tastes like fall. This is
tasty.
Yeah, this is
We're not having much in our fridge.
Yeah, this feels like a pretty special breakfast considering.
I love these cinnamon apples. They just jazz up any pancakes or oatmeal or anything, and they're pretty easy to make. Not a bad start to the day. Do you think we'll go for a walk after this?
We should. Our favorite walk. Just had some trail mix. We got in from our walk. A little trail mix with some pumpkin seeds. I think we forgot to shoot it. We ate it really quick.
Yeah, it's just trail mix.
And now we're just looking at pictures of lions that I took.
I'm pretty hungry, but I have no desire to make food. I can't focus on anything else. Oh.
Mufasa.
Okay, so I will try to make some food. And before we left, I froze some rice that we had in our fridge in these little silicone loaf tins. I've never really defrosted rice. We don't have a microwave. So I'm gonna see if I can defrost it in our air fryer. So I'm gonna make a stir fry and we'll see if defrosting this rice ends up taking longer than just cooking rice. Hopefully not. And an update on the rice. It was pretty easy in our air fryer convection oven. Guy over there with the little rooster on top, our Portuguese rooster. And I put it on 350, the frozen rice with a bit of water, and in 10 minutes it was done. And it's a little softer and mushier than I'd maybe like, but it worked. We have some tofu in the fridge, so I'm just pan frying some of this. The rice is defrosting. I'll show you, we had some frozen veggies. So I froze what was in our fridge before we left. So we got bell peppers, some cabbage, and a tiny bit of shredded carrot. And then I'll make my go-to stir fry sauce and use some of my frozen ginger and my other like fridge staples, some tamari, some rice vinegar, etc., etc. So this turned out not too bad considering it's pretty much all frozen ingredients. It needs a bit of green though. So these are some green onions that I purchased before we left. And because they have the roots on them, when I buy them from the store, I put them in a jar and I had this in the fridge And they didn't grow much in the fridge, but I took them out a couple days ago and they've already started to sprout quite a bit. So I'm gonna cut up some of this regrown green onion and give this a little splash of color. Okay, looks a little more appetizing now. Some green onion. I toasted some sesame seeds quickly. Excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah, this is like our quick go-to stir fry. The sauce is super quick, just stuff that's in the fridge. Just some tamari, some maple syrup, rice vinegar, chili garlic sauce for some garlic and some spice. And what else is in there? Cornstarch to thicken it, and that's it. So I always have that stuff on hand. And then the tofu we had in the fridge because we were only gone for a little over a week. So, yeah, I'm happy. We're gonna need a snack for the next few days, so crackers. So this is our seed cracker recipe that I know a lot of you really like, and I make these all the time still. And these are fantastic for just using up your pantry staples. And right now I'm a little low on those, but I do have oats and pumpkin seeds. This is all the sesame seeds I have, so those are gonna go in here. And then flax and chia. What I'm missing are hemp hearts and sunflower seeds. So I'll just use more of what I have to make up for this half a cup. So essentially you just add all of the seeds to a bowl, and I just did more flax, and I actually had some ground chia seeds, so I used those as well. And then typically I use oregano, cumin, and garlic powder and some salt to flavor these. But I have this everything bagel seasoning right now. So I'm just gonna put some of that in to season these, and we'll see how that tastes. Then add in 1 1/4 cup water, and then you just let this sit for 10 to 15 minutes, and the seeds will soak up all of this water. And I'm gonna preheat my oven and get these in. I actually decided not to preheat my oven, and instead, if you scroll down to the notes, there's quite a few for alternatives to this recipe, but I have some air fryer methods here. So I'm gonna use my air fryer today because it only takes 30 minutes instead of 50, and it's a little more energy efficient. So the crackers are made. These are super easy. I know so many of you love them. So I made some hummus. I took out some frozen chickpeas, made some hummus so that we'll have a snack with these for the next few days. And then for tonight, we're just feeling like something small. So there's a soup that my mother-in-law makes that's a roasted red pepper soup with tofu in it. And we had a package of, actually 2 still, of this soft tofu. That's still good for a little while, so I just kept it in the fridge while we were gone, and I'm gonna blend it into this roasted red pepper and tomato soup. This is a pretty cool soup. I've been wanting to try it for a while, and I have this big jar of, oh, there you go. Oh, I'm talking.
Sorry, never mind.
Brian's like, why are you talking to yourself? What are you? He has headphones on. I was saying, I got this big jar of roasted red peppers, so I've been waiting to use some of them for this soup, and I pretty much always have cans of tomatoes for kind of quick meals like this in the pantry. So I'm going to give this one a try, and I think the only thing I'm going to change, I'm going to try putting some balsamic vinegar in this recipe. I'll flash the recipe up for you. It's from a magazine, and it looks really simple. It only boils for like 10 minutes. It's quick, it's easy. I'm gonna try putting some balsamic vinegar in because I make another tomato soup with balsamic vinegar. And maybe I'll see if I can use something else for the maple syrup, or if it needs that sweetener. I'm changing the recipe a bit. It's tasty. I think it needs something else. Update on the sweetener. Did need more sweetener, so I added the maple syrup, and I also added some nutritional yeast because the recipe says that you can put some cheese on top and there's ravioli in it. So the nooch just helped to give a bit of that cheesy depth. And other than that, I think that's pretty much everything that I changed. So we're gonna have this with some crackers and some hummus.
My mom talks a good game about this soup, so Mom, let's see if you're right. Oh. That's good. This tastes like restaurant soup.
Does it?
Yeah, I think that roasted red pepper gives it some depth, and it's so smooth from the tofu.
I feel like the flavors have like melded a little bit more and kind of chilled out together even since we tasted it on the stove.
You want your flavors to chill out.
I think it's really tasty.
You made it really quick.
Yeah, it was really fast.
Oh, amazing.
I wonder if I would do any more tofu. I did half a block of tofu, which means we'll have soft tofu to make something else with maybe tomorrow.
We'll finish our soup, we'll have our crackers, we'll do some work, and we'll see what tomorrow's breakfast brings.
You made an amazing smoothie the other day. We'll show that.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what you make for breakfast.
So we just got in from our walk, and we're gonna have a green smoothie. I just blended up some frozen spinach. Frozen spinach. Still got a little bit of jet lag. Some frozen mango. A little scoop of protein powder, and a secret ingredient. Do you know what it is, Catherine? If you take a sip.
Did you say there's spinach in there?
Yeah, that's how it's green.
Yeah.
Frozen mango. Do you know what it is? It's the mint stuff that Nitin gave us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I put in a little
That's cool.
scoop of those seeds.
Huh.
That's a pretty good idea. So I put in just like a teaspoon or so of, what is it called again?
Well, it's like a mouth freshener.
Our friend Nitin brought this back from India when he went home to visit family just before the holidays.
It's the perfect
honestly,
mouth freshener.
Yeah, it tastes like mint licorice.
Yeah, I think it's anise seed or anise seed, depending on how you say it.
Anyways.
And I don't know if there's anything else in there, but it's really refreshing.
It's really refreshing. So I put a little spoonful in there with about, a couple tablespoons of protein powder, a couple handfuls of frozen spinach, a couple frozen mango, and then just like a dash of almond milk and mostly a cup of water. And that was it.
We forgot that we had pancakes.
I love when we forget that we have pancakes.
Brian was about to make breakfast, but he just got called into another meeting. I just finished my morning session, and we could put our pancakes back in the toaster and warm them up and breakfast. So for lunch, we were busy working, so we just had some leftover soup and some more hummus and crackers. And now for dinner, we feel like some sort of power bowl, but we had rice yesterday. So we're going to cook some quinoa, and then in our freezer we had some frozen sweet potato that I had roasted before we left and we didn't get through. So hopefully that's okay. And then we have black beans and we have frozen corn. So kind of a Mexican-ish flavor profile. And then for a sauce, we have that leftover soft tofu that I didn't use in the soup yesterday. So this, I'm thinking, is going to become a Chipotle mayo. And for the Chipotle part, we always have some Chipotle pepper in our fridge. It's part of our pantry staples because it's delicious. I've never made a Chipotle mayo before, so we'll see how that goes. I've got some skillet charred corn going. This is always a must and one of the most popular, very simple recipes on our blog, always. And I'm going to toss some beans and probably some onion and garlic into here soon. And the quinoa has started to boil. And the sweet potato is in the air fryer defrosting. And now the mayo.
I'm pumped digging.
Let's see how it tastes.
Oh, that is so good. Catherine, this is a recipe. You want to see this recipe? Let us know. New mayo recipe. Okay. Oh, I have the hiccups. That's when you know I really like it. I get so excited I eat too fast. While I get these hiccups under control, tell everybody how you made the mayo. It's really good.
So I made the mayo kind of similar to the Russian dressing that I put up recently on the blog. So it's basically my oil-free mayo, which is tofu, but I just kind of blend the tofu with some lemon juice, salt, some wasabi, for some zing, but you could use mustard. I'm just allergic to mustard, so I use wasabi, even though they're the same family, but it works. And then for this one, I just added some of the canned Chipotle peppers that I have in the fridge. And I used too much lemon juice. So I added some smoked paprika because the Chipotle just wasn't coming out enough. So next time I make it, I'll reduce the lemon juice and maybe at some point it'll be up on the blog for you. Till tomorrow. It has been a busy day today. So this is a day where our leftovers really came in handy. I promise that tomorrow I will try to make some more interesting meals and show you what I make. But today we just used some of that leftover tahini date sauce in our oats this morning. There were blueberries in there with chia seeds, some cinnamon, some flaxseed on top with some toasted nuts, and that tahini date caramel thing, more like a sauce, just made it a little different. And for lunch, oh, what did we even have? Oh, we had the leftover quinoa and veggies from last night, the kind of power bowl that we made. But I tossed in some of our frozen cabbage just to diversify it a little bit, get us some more green veggies in, and then had that Chipotle mayo that I made on top. Yeah, I just kind of mixed it all together for lunch. And then dinner is also leftovers. It's the leftover stir fry from a couple of days ago now. And to change this one up a bit, I added some, here, you can see, I added in some edamame and put some roasted peanuts on top and some of that green onion that is still going strong, folks. And edamame, I always used to boil on the stove in a pot, and it took a little longer. Now I've started to just boil water in my kettle and pour boiling water over the frozen edamame, and it defrosts in just like a couple minutes, and it's way easier to boil water in my kettle, and it's actually more efficient electricity wise. So that's a bonus. I don't know if there's anything else to tell you about today. Oh, I started my kombucha. I can tell you that. Okay, even though I was busy, I was like, I need to start this kombucha. It has been so long that I've been saying I'm gonna start kombucha. So I haven't totally finished it yet. My SCOBY is still in like this really funky SCOBY hotel that I'm always like, is this okay? Because it looks weird, but I think it's okay. And here, I'll show you the kombucha. And the big jar of kombucha is almost cool enough. Yeah, it's almost there to put the SCOBY in. And I've got my notes on how to do this. So hopefully in a few days, we'll have our first kombucha batch. Exciting kombucha update. It has a SCOBY in there, and it has this cute little cap. And now I'll leave it for 5 days. And actually, one more fermentation thing that I did today was to wake up my sourdough starter. And honestly, this was the first time that I thought I might have killed it because it's been so long since I fed it and it's been in the fridge forever. But it's grown. It's fine. It's alive. So I'll keep feeding this over the next few days to give it some time to get stronger. And then I'll be able to make some sourdough. And I don't know if I've told you too. So it's been a busy day. I thought I hadn't cooked it all, but I'm rocking it because, well, I didn't do this today, but I can pretend I did it today, but not really. But I'll tell you that I did it. I have sprouts on the go. So these are a sandwich booster blend. So it's like alfalfa and mustard seeds and a few different kinds. And then these ones are broccoli sprouts, and they don't look like much at the moment, but they'll grow and they'll pretty much fill these jars. I think we're about 2 days away from having that yield of sprouts, which will coincide very well with when we're going to run out of frozen spinach. And I think that's, other than the cabbage that we have that's frozen too, it's the last of our green veggies. So let's see how long we can keep this going. Tomorrow is going to be 1 week since we got home. I'm just setting up for lunch, but breakfast this morning was a little momentous because we used our last frozen banana, and oatmeal just isn't the same for me without banana. So maybe tomorrow is gonna have to be a savory breakfast. But for lunch, I'm gonna try something a little different. This is sort of like a recipe I've been working on. It's some sort of ramen noodle bowl. So usually I do this a little differently, but today I'm gonna try doing it with dried mushrooms because I realize we have a bunch of dry mushrooms in our pantry. So I've just rehydrated those for about 30 minutes or so in some hot water. And we have smoked tofu, and this is a sriracha flavored smoked tofu, so it's pretty spicy. We have the ramen noodles, also great to have in your pantry. And out of the freezer, I'm gonna pull frozen peppers and maybe some green peas or spinach, something green.
It's officially 1 week. We haven't bought any groceries. We're still alive. We aren't protein deficient. We're getting everything.
This sauce is sort of like a coconut, peanut buttery. We've already had peanut butter this morning, but
we're low on groceries.
We're gonna have a little bit more. And then like soy sauce, chili garlic sauce, some garlic, some onion, some ginger, and our frozen ginger comes in handy here. So it's gonna be a flavorful sauce. There's gonna be some yummy stuff in it. I think it's gonna turn out okay. You look very cowboy-esque today. This is this is one of the first shirts that I ever saw you in.
And you fell in love with me in it?
I did. Facebook photos. I was like, who's that guy? So I have some of the mushrooms in the pot with the broth, but I didn't know if they'd all get a little lost. So I did some in this pan too, that way you can see them on top of the bowl. It'll look pretty. And then I tossed in some of our frozen peppers, some peas, and some spinach, which I'd prefer to use bok choy in this. I usually do, but we're low on greens, so this is what it's gonna be today. And then in this pot, I sauteed some onion, garlic, ginger, and then added soy sauce or tamari, chili garlic sauce, rice vinegar, some of those mushrooms. And then I don't have any of my homemade veggie broth that I always talk about making, but I don't have any of that right now. So I just use that better than bouillon, like stock. What's that called?
Yeah.
Bouillon.
This, you use this.
My backup broth. So I have some of that coming to a simmer, and then I'll add coconut milk. And did I say peanut butter's in here? Peanut butter's in here too.
Yeah, because we're doubling up on the PB.
Yeah, some people think PB is gonna kill us, but we like it.
I'm still here. Live action lunch coming at you.
Brian already sliced up the tofu.
Oh,
Do you want to try some? It's really spicy though, remember?
Oh, it's so good though.
Smoked tofu. Don't have to do anything to it. Best.
So these ramen noodles are pretty cool.
They cook really quickly, 3 minutes. So at first I was cooking them separately, but I've started just cooking them in this broth because it seems like that's fine to do. And why have another pot? So they also get way more flavorful if you cook them in with all of this flavor. In a couple minutes, these will be done and we'll be plating. Oh, I'm gonna add coconut milk in there. That's the last thing. How much? I don't know. See what I feel like.
Taste test. And?
Yum.
Yeah?
Haven't added the coconut milk yet,
Awesome.
but it's delish. I spilled. When I cook normally, it's kind of chaotic. This is unfiltered, Catherine.
I think this has got to be a recipe. This is so good. There's so much flavor.
Those pantry staples really come in handy when you're trying not to go to the grocery store because we can still make really delicious meals.
This is delicious. It's so comforting. Yum.
All right, we'll see you at dinner.
So it's dinner time and I am making a curry, and this is kind of modeled after my coconut red lentil chickpea curry that's on the blog that I know a lot of you really like, but I'm going to change it up a little bit tonight because I have some frozen kabocha squash that has been frozen for much too long. So I'm going to toss that in instead of tomatoes, which I usually put in, and so it won't have the tomato in it. We had some coconut milk this afternoon, but we only used a little bit of it. So I'm gonna put some more in here. And we had frozen rice still, so I defrosted that rice and kind of made a cumin rice, which we had in Kenya a bunch, and it was delicious. And I've never just added cumin seeds before to rice, so I just heated some of that up. And the really exciting thing about dinner tonight is that I'm going to try my hand at making chapati, which I learned how to make in Kenya from our chef there.
So here's how the curry's coming along. There's some onion and garlic in here with curry powder and cumin, and then I tossed in dried lentils from the pantry, this frozen kabocha squash, and broth. And in a couple minutes, these are almost cooked, these lentils, so in a couple minutes I'm going to put some frozen chickpeas in, plus the coconut milk, and probably some spinach as well, and then that's done. It's really, really quick. And then this is the cumin rice that I just heated up. So we just had a little bit of rice left over, and you can see kind of the like big cumin seeds in there.
Oh, look at that.
So this is it done. And to finish it, I usually put a little bit of cinnamon in this curry. So I put a bit of cinnamon in. Then it's still, without the tomato, needed a little something. So I played around with it a little bit and just added a few things. So I put a little bit of maple syrup in, which helped, and then it needed some spice, so I put chili garlic sauce in. It's a little random, but it tastes good. So next is chapati. So chapati's going real well so far.
We'll cut to footage of you two making it together. It was fun.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a recipe on the blog, and we're going to do a video for it.
If I can figure out how to make it
You can do it. We got William's phone number, so worst case,
Yeah.
you can maybe give him a call.
Help me.
Catherine had a great idea. Why don't we just taste test one in the middle of doing this?
Let's see.
Well,
Is it flaky?
I don't know the camera over here.
Oh, there it is. Not quite as flaky as his.
Yeah, but come on. First go.
More dense, but flavorful.
Oh, super flavorful. Yeah, maybe just less flour, like less dough. But when we scoop our curry into this tonight, big yum.
Wow.
Best dinner yet. And we're 1 week in for not buying groceries. Look at this. This is crazy. I feel like we went out for dinner and we just made this out of stuff that was just kicking around.
All right. I have no idea what we're going to make tomorrow.
I'm going to make you ragu.
Oh, yeah.
Our red lentil ragu.
Okay.
And you're gonna
Maybe we'll have leftovers for lunch then.
Yeah, we can have the chapati with that soup.
Yeah. Ooh, good idea.
Breakfast will be...
Maybe burritos. We still have frozen breakfast burritos. So for breakfast this morning, I just pulled out our frozen burritos. So if you didn't watch our video for these breakfast burritos, they're chickpea flour and tofu. It makes the egg patty. And then there's some other veggies in there, some sweet potato, some spinach. What else did I put in? Mushrooms and red pepper. And then our queso, our cheese sauce, and our vegan cheese sauce, of course. So I'll pop them into the air fryer for 15 to 20 minutes at 400, I think. Just came out of the air fryer. Not bad. Remembered that we still have some of this Chipotle mayo, so maybe we'll have some little dipping sauce for these burritos this morning.
Oh, good idea. No, I'm not camera ready.
A little afternoon snack. I just cut up some apple and we still had some of that tahini date sauce. So I put that on for a bit of protein, some toasted nuts, some flaxseed, and this should get us through until lunch. Lunch today is some leftover soup and our sprouts are ready. So a little sprout garnish. And of course, we still have some chapati. So for dinner tonight, Brian was gonna make our red lentil ragu, but his day got busy and we are chatting over FaceTime with some friends in about a half hour. So I'm making the ragu, but I'm sort of just doing a play on it. Usually there's walnuts in it, but we have, here, I'll show you. So I rehydrated extra mushrooms the other day when I used those dried mushrooms. So instead of walnuts, I'm just putting some mushrooms in here. I have the chipotle pepper and adobo sauce, which adds so much flavor. I have that in here, and I'm going to use, this is some of the broth that the mushrooms were hydrating in. So this recipe calls for broth. So I'm gonna put that in instead, which will add some flavor. I've got my pasta boiling, and then we're going to add lentils into here for the protein, and then some tomato sauce, which actually I had frozen. This was a jar of tomato sauce that we had in our fridge before we left that we didn't get to finishing. So I froze it, so now I've defrosted that, and we can use it tonight. I was actually short a cup of broth with that mushroom broth, and as I was dumping out the pasta water, I decided to save a cup of that, and I'm gonna toss that in.
All right, some late night Friday eats because we were talking to friends, but look at this, macadamia nuts.
Doesn't really taste like Parmesan, but it looks like Parmesan.
Very cool. So this is our lentil ragu. Have you told the people?
I have. So I told them that I put some mushrooms in, and I put some spinach in to get some greens in us. I was going to make a salad of some sort, like a bean salad with some sprouts and stuff for tonight, but now that we finished talking, it's a little later, I don't really feel like it, so I put some spinach in, and I think we'll be okay.
Maybe a green smoothie or something in the morning.
Ooh, okay. I'm down for that.
Yum, let's eat.
Okay, for breakfast this morning, this is the definition of a freezer dump smoothie. So we have frozen mango, strawberries, chickpeas, flaxseed, some spinach, and over here we have some beets. Usually we like to use banana to thicken our smoothies, but we ran out of bananas. So I'm gonna blend this and see what it tastes like before I decide what else to put in it. So it's tasting okay. I can taste the chickpeas. So I'm squeezing some lemon in, I used a bit of almond milk and water to help it blend. And we'll see what this does. It's gonna need some sort of fat source, peanut butter or tahini or something. Not the most delicious smoothie bowl we've ever made, but it's not bad. Brian came in and helped it out because he's a smoothie master. And after I added that lemon, we added just a little bit of maple syrup and some tahini. So it's kind of like a lemony tahini bunch of mixed fruit and veg and chickpea vibe.
Choose your own adventure.
We're in the grocery store.
Don't tell anybody. Super secret. We're having friends over tonight. And I think it's time to move on with our lives. You know, I think it's time to just be adults and go to the grocery store.
Well, we had a dinner party planned, and we had told our friends that we would make them all of our Indonesian recipes. And these are all the recipes that we learned how to make when we were in Bali. And it makes like a really pretty fun party platter of Indonesian food. There's delicious corn fritters called perkedels. There's a salad that has toasted coconut on it, Balinese tempeh, tofu pepes, which are steamed tofu in banana leaves.
Super cool. We'll link to that video below because it's worth checking out. There's 5 recipes in it. It's 5 recipes.
And all of the little snippets of videos that we've shown, I'll link in the description box below for you. So if you want to see those videos and those recipes, they're all there.
Yeah, but bottom line, we went 9 days. We really could have went 2 weeks, could have went more.
Yeah, because once our sprouts were made, then that helped out our green veggie problem. And we were able to make some more quick meals like a tofu egg salad that I'm playing around with, and we had sprouts on that.
That was really tasty. And we tested the kombucha.
Yeah, we finally got to taste our first batch of kombucha.
You made a tofu katsu. That's also another recipe in the works. So we got, if you want to see these recipes on the blog, if you want to see videos for these recipes, leave those comments below. But I feel like we're pretty apocalypse ready. Like we could, you know, stock up a bunker and...
We've got some tips. So I think the things that really worked were having a variety of grains. So if you have rice, quinoa, noodles, and then like dried veggies or jarred veggies, like those roasted red peppers I used, or dried mushrooms, those come in handy when you're trying to just work from your pantry. And then having things like lentils and beans, whether they're canned or in your freezer. And then just try not to waste anything that you have leftover-wise. So like how I froze that tomato sauce, the frozen veggies, instead of just leaving stuff in your fridge and kind of waiting for it to go moldy and then you have to throw it out, just try to get to those quicker and freeze them. And then you can maybe extend the day that you usually go grocery shopping by 2 or 3 days and do a little pantry freezer clean out like we did.
So challenge yourself and leave a comment below. We want to hear. How long did you last? How long can you go? How long do you think you can go?
And what are your tips? What are the things that helped you kind of grocery shop less, but still eat balanced, healthy meals?
Yeah, and if you want to see more off-the-cuff videos like this that are very underproduced than our normal stuff, then let us know. Because this is...
Do you like doing that?
Yeah, it's a little easier, I'm not going to lie. No, it's been fun, and I mean, you still look amazing. Look at your curls. For just like just a Saturday. Just going to look amazing.
Well, look at you. Speak for yourself.
Also, and before we go, if you want to see a video on kombucha.
Careful with her.
Oh, sorry. Is it bad to jiggle it? Oh, she's sensitive. If you want to see a video on kombucha, like Catherine known, we can make that happen. You've been working on like
some different flavorings and stuff like that. Good. I don't know if kombucha's overdone. You know how to make kombucha. If you would like a video on that, then let us know.
But we're gonna
let us know what your SCOBY's named, because I haven't named mine yet, and I feel like she needs. I'm calling her she, so she's a she, and I feel like she needs a name.
Maybe David, like the
David,
like David
the female SCOBY.
David. Well, I meant the hippo from Kenya.
Oh yeah.
There was a hippo in Kenya that David, our guide, named David because he saw it first.
So then, by that, my SCOBY should be named Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine.
I don't want to be a SCOBY. Like, I know they're really powerful and stuff, but...
Yeah, you can just eat everything in your...
Yeah, just get nice and fat. They're really healthy.
On that note, we'll see you next week with a tofu egg salad. Leave your comments below.
Bye.